friends, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alyssa, and today I've got two cozy soup recipes for you which are so delicious, and they are actually made using my newest favorite appliance, which is my Instant Pot. So I'll admit I was a little bit hesitant to buy an Instant Pot because I felt like it was just going to be another appliance that I probably wasn't going to use all that much, but I have to tell you, I love it. This has been so much fun experimenting with it, and I actually bought it mostly because I wanted to start cooking beans from scratch more, and you can cook them really, really quickly in the Instant Pot. I actually did share a video last week that shows how to cook beans in the Instant Pot, so if you're interested in checking that out, I'll link it down for you below. But aside from just cooking beans, I've also been loving experimenting with soups, and I've done curries and all that stuff. These two soups are both vegan and gluten-free, and they are the two things that I have loved making the most. They are absolutely delicious. We are making a creamy coconut mushroom soup, and we're also making my new lentil chili. And this is a really fun spin on classic chili because it doesn't have those traditional chili beans, it just uses lentils. So it's like a little bit of a finer texture, and it kind of has like that texture of ground meat because the lentils are small, like ground meat. So it's great for those of you who have meat eaters in your life who are a little bit resistant to eating plant-based meals. This is a great option because it tastes delicious and it kind of has that meat-like texture. Of course, I've linked all of the recipes for you in the description box below, and I would love for you to subscribe if you have not yet joined our community. Tap that red button before you go and subscribe, and without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. We're going to start by making our coconut mushroom soup, and we're going to turn the Instant Pot to saute first. So just turn it to the saute function, set it for whatever time, it doesn't really matter. Once it's heated up, we're going to add some olive oil into the pan, and then we're going to saute some garlic as well as some onion or some shallot. Season it with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then you can just saute it for 3 to 4 minutes. And this is one of the things that I love about an Instant Pot over a slow cooker is that you can do the saute function, so you can cook and get a little bit more flavor into your things like soups. So once those are softened a little bit, we're going to just add the rest of the ingredients, which are a bunch of chopped up button mushrooms as well as some rosemary. And again, you are going to saute that until the mushrooms have softened and started to get nice and brown. It takes another maybe 2 to 3 minutes or so, and then you can add in the rest of the ingredients. So the soup really is so simple. It just uses a can of full-fat coconut milk as well as some vegetable broth and a little bit of quinoa, which adds some thickness to it, also adds a little bit of a nice texture and amps up the protein a little bit. You could also stir in some beans if you wanted to amp up the protein even more, and you'll just stir that all together until it's combined, and then just pop on the lid to your Instant Pot. Make sure that the thing is sealed, that the vent is turned to sealed, not venting, and we are going to cook it on high pressure for 2 minutes. I swear, that's all it takes. 2 minutes. So just cook it 2 minutes on high pressure. It's going to take some time to build the pressure up. Once it does, it will turn on and it will cook for 2 minutes. And then you'll let the pressure release for about 15 minutes or so, and just release the rest of the pressure after that time. It should release a little bit. If it doesn't, totally fine. That means it's already done releasing, so you're good to go. And then you can just remove the lid, and we are going to add in some lemon juice as well as a bit more salt and pepper. I just recommend tasting it and seasoning it to your liking. And just give it a quick stir, make sure everything's combined, and then you are good to go for serving. I love just serving this as is. You could do a dollop of coconut yogurt maybe on top to make it extra creamy if you wanted, but it's a really delicious soup. It is on the lighter side, so I'd say this isn't necessarily a meal-sized soup because you're not getting in like a ton of protein or anything like that. So I would serve it as a side dish, maybe with a nice salad or as a nice lunch option. It's really, really yummy. You guys have seen me make this in a What I Eat in a Day video, and it's definitely one of your favorite soups that I've made on the channel so far. And then our second soup, like I mentioned, is the lentil chili. So we are also going to be using the saute function, and I'm actually using my mom's Instant Pot in this one, which is the Instant Pot Plus. So it's a little bit different looking, but it still has the same functionality. So we're going to saute in the beginning, and once it's heated up, we're going to add in some olive oil again, and we're going to saute some red onion as well as some peppers. And we'll just saute those again like the last soup until the onions are kind of translucent. It takes 2 to 3 minutes or so. And then we are just going to add in the rest of our ingredients. So for the rest of our ingredients, we are going to use some green lentils as well as some red lentils. And then the spices are going to be chili powder, cumin, coriander, smoked paprika, as well as salt, and 2 cans of fire roasted diced tomatoes. You could use regular tomatoes if you wanted, as well as some tomato sauce and some vegetable broth. And you'll just give that a quick stir to make sure everything is combined. And again, pop on the lid to your Instant Pot. Make sure that the vent is sealed instead of venting so that it can actually build pressure. And we are going to cook this chili for 12 minutes. So just set it to high pressure for 12 minutes. Let it come on, let it build up the pressure, and then let it again naturally release for about 15 minutes or so, and then release the rest of the pressure if there is any before you remove the lid. So just press the button and let the rest of the pressure release. And then you can just remove the lid and give your chili a nice stir, and it should be nice and thick. If it's too thick, you can add in a splash of vegetable broth if you wanted. And I think that it tastes good as is. I don't really think that it needs much more flavor, but I would just, of course, always recommend tasting it before you serve it so that you can adjust your seasonings as needed. Once you are ready to serve it up, you will just transfer it into your bowls. And for toppings, you can just use regular standard chili toppings like cilantro and avocado, but I am doing some sliced jalapeno as well as some chopped up cilantro. And one of my favorite things is adding some crushed up tortilla chips on top. Adds a really nice crunch, some saltiness, and tortilla chips and chili are just like the best combo ever. So you can just dig right in. Like I said, this is a great meal prep option. You can freeze it. It keeps in the fridge. Both of them keep in the fridge for 5 to 6 days. Tastes so yummy. People have already been making it from the site and sharing it on Instagram, and everyone loves it so far, and I know you will too. And there you have it, my friends. Those are my 2 favorite Instant Pot soup recipes as of late. I know you guys are going to love these recipes, and if you don't have an Instant Pot, that's totally fine. You can still make these recipes. They work on the stove, and they also work in a slow cooker. So if you want to use a slow cooker, I would just recommend cooking them on high for like 4 to 6 hours. And then if you're going to cook them on the stove, I would just let them simmer for about an hour or so. Otherwise, don't forget to get the full recipes up on the blog. I've linked them down in the description box below for you. If you end up making them, I would love to see a photo. You can share them with me on social by tagging @simplyquinoa or using #simplyquinoa. I would also love for you to join our community if you are not yet part of this awesome tribe here on YouTube. You can tap that red button that says subscribe right below this video. That will subscribe you. And I am here twice a week, every Tuesday and Friday, sharing new recipe videos, lifestyle content, vlogs, all that good stuff. So that's your jam. You should definitely subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to give it a thumbs up. And if you have any other requests for me in terms of like Instant Pot recipes or just recipes in general or video content in general, the comment box is always open and I'm always open to your suggestions. So please drop a comment down below. Otherwise, I just want to thank you so much for being here. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to join us, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!